Yeah, I think the best thing is continuing to do what you're doing, continue to drive the discussions, fostering the environments where the brands and agencies are able to come together. It's a hard time right now. You guys have done an amazing job at adapting during COVID, but I think all of us are eager to get back to that in person, eager to get back to those times where we can look ahead to the future and think about it as collective individuals so that we can be prepared for what we believe to be coming and get ready from a brand perspective to get everything on that roadmap.
I'm just, I've talked to a lot of brands over a lot of years, but you talk to a lot of brands right now, a lot of brands in multiple industries as your membership base. What are they asking for from people like us, like a Clarus, like a Covey, an Epsilon, or whoever else? What are they looking for that we can help them with?
I think there are a couple things that we see. You touched on partnerships. Partnerships are very important for brands right now. They want to know, how do they kind of expand their customer base with organizations that have kind of like-minded and mutually kind of advantageous customers, right? So customer bases, should I say. I think there's an interest in partnerships. I think one of the things that we continue to see more and more, especially coming through COVID, is some of the technology out there has been somewhat challenging. The ability to set up new programs, the ability to configure new promotional opportunities have been very, very challenging for marketers. So they want flexibility. I think they're looking for new technology options. We're helping brands kind of select new providers. So I think that's a big challenge. KPIs, as we know, continues to be kind of an interesting one as well. How do you measure engagement? How do you measure that, customer lifetime value? We're doing some things in that regard. So I think there's a lot, it's the technology do what it actually says it does. We have this idea called the logo jungle. A lot of times when, you're presenting to clients, they'll see the same 5 logos, right? They'll see Starbucks, they'll see a McDonald's, they'll see a Hilton, they'll see a JetBlue, and like, oh, we run the program. Like, do you really run that program? So there's a lot of confusion. They want simplicity, they want to create different engagement, and they're struggling with how to do it. So partnerships, but having a community and other brands that they can talk to, I think is very important. And simple technology that can truly be relevant and actionable and configured in a timely manner that doesn't, take a PhD in, Boolean logic to set some of these programs up. I think that's really what we continue to hear, those 3 or 4 things.
Yeah. Okay.
I think, first of all, kudos to you guys. This concept of a group that helps to educate the industry, helps to advocate on behalf of the industry, it's very needed. I've had the privilege to go to some different parts of the world, see loyalty, particularly coalition loyalty, and so many other developed parts of the world. Coalition is key, and it's a major piece of overall loyalty strategy for so many brands in developed parts of the world. In the U.S., not so much. We're a very large market, and we don't have real coalition. We could talk about that for a long time, but it's amazing how different parts of the world grew up differently when it comes to loyalty. So you have, Mark, a big responsibility in this industry. You have so many proprietary loyalty solutions, so many brand-specific loyalty solutions, and the brands and even the loyalty providers like DropTank are looking for education, looking for best practices. And so I think the type of, being able to listen to other kind of podcasts and live streams like this, being able to, when the time is right, have venues for practitioners to come together, learn a little bit more about what's being done. I think it's so critical, particularly in the US, to have that opportunity, because you have so many different practitioners, so many different brands trying to be brought up to speed to do a better job. So anything related to education, authentic examples and use cases, like like when you go to business school, and they present you with, here's an actual example, here's an actual use case. What would you do? And then being able to see the outcome of that. I've seen some of that stuff from the articles that you guys put out in terms of here's an actual example of somebody doing something.
Right.
bringing that authenticity to it and not just having it be an opportunity for Drop Tank to sell into brands or brands to tell people why they're the greatest thing ever. Helping to tease out the authentic learnings is a lot of your role. And I think you guys are doing a good job of it.
I think you guys do a lot of good things today, right? In terms of connecting brands and creating. I always think of it as a community of practitioners, right? We've facilitated loyalty roundtables with executives over the years, and I've always found that just having an active community of practitioners that can bounce ideas around and share challenges and talk about new ways of thinking is incredibly valuable. I also think that to some degree this is a space that is evolving, right? And so you have the advantage as a industry association of seeing the space evolve from a service provider standpoint, working with firms like PK, like ourselves. And so I think it is a major value add that you offer to brands as well in terms of keeping a pulse on that landscape and helping connect brands to leaders who are changing the way of working.
As you know, we talked, I greatly appreciate everything you do and the partnership that we have together. I think, the focus of really what we're doing today and in other areas is around like that thought leadership and knowledge exchange within the industry has been incredibly helpful. I've enjoyed the Loyalty Live series and the white papers that you've come out with. I think, one interesting area to continue to explore is loyalty data sharing and benchmarks. Like we all, every company like mine, we have our own secret sauce metrics that we've developed, by running dozens of loyalty programs, and we've all published one form or another of proprietary thought leadership. But it would be, we're also, each of us, rightly so, are very protective of some of the inner workings of that because it is proprietary. And so, how can you as a neutral third party interested in altruistically bringing forth the industry as much as you can, act as a bit of a hub and to the extent that everyone's comfortable with it, collect those insights and pieces and create more of an aggregate view versus a per company, agency, vendor view.